All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sharif, for another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about how can an agent find the right team for them based on their current goals and where they're at with their business. So, good morning, Sharif. How you doing today?
Good morning, Peter. Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Obviously, another Sunday morning, and the weather's obviously rainy, so I can't get this rain to stop. So, Sharif, today we're talking about how can an agent find the right team and what things to look for when they're looking to join a team. Obviously, there are so many teams out there, and let's face it, some of them are really fake teams. They're not really real teams. And in your opinion, like, why don't we start with kind of like your when you first started, did you join a team or how did you start your real estate business?
I did start as a solo agent with a mentor, which I didn't find be very beneficial at all. So I did start to explore the team setup. And with that, I didn't do a lot of research about teams. And back then, teams were still new anyway. But I can tell you today's, options of teams are far different than they were back then. And with that being said, there's a couple key things that, you want to definitely look into. And really, it all comes to what your goals are. Every team provides different structures, different benefits, but you really need to know what are your goals to make sure that that team is the right fit for you. So definitely understanding where you want to be, what you want your business to look like, and if that team can help you get there is probably one of the biggest qualifications.
I agree. I agree. Similar to myself as well. When I first started, I had a mentor and he was almost running a team, but it wasn't a true setup. I mean, he was great, don't get me wrong, but the way that the team was running, I mean, there was no administrative support. He was there to help you most of the time on the phone, but there was no on-site experience, there was no office. We were sharing leads. I was paying half the lead of the cost, like we were doing Zillow leads, and then he was paying half of the cost, I was paying half of the cost, and I was still getting half the commission. Now knowing this, what we know now, obviously this is not something that I should have done, or other teams do today. Like the team members don't have to share in paying the cost of the lead. I mean, obviously it's a great business move for him, but wasn't really the best decision for me. But at the end of the day, it was a learning experience, and it was great. It helped me kickstart my business, and I was fortunate enough to have some money to put into investing in leads with him. And that's what I say was like, okay, this was not really a true team setup based on everything that we know today.
Yeah, there are teams out there that are just basically a bunch of people that are doing business similarly, but don't really work together. No, core CRM system where they can communicate with each other. The lead flow is kind of, whatever you bring in is what you get type deal. And really, the philosophy of it is a little bit different than teams are structured today, like how we function. If you're looking to elevate your business, you might need admin support more than, the actual leads or things of that nature. Or you might be looking for the accountability portion rather than the support or the leads, right? So it's everyone's got their, different needs that they're looking for. And it's really important to figure out what your needs are. I mean, if you have leads but you need a CRM and you need some type of back end support, you might want to look for a team that's structured that way. So it's definitely good to investigate the team itself, talk to some of the team members. I can tell you that's a requirement for us. We require anybody who is wanting to come onto the team, talk to the team members, because in reality, you're not joining just the team lead, right? You're joining the whole team itself. So conducting thorough interviews with not just only the team leader, the support staff, but also the team members, I think is probably one of the important things to do when choosing a team.
100%. I mean, I tell everybody on our team is that you guys are partners in our business, and it's a partnership, right? So a partnership without you having to invest the same money that we invest or half the portion that we invest in up front, but we do help you. You got to partner up. Your side of the business is that you got to invest your time in putting in the work, and then we're carrying obviously the overhead, and we're carrying obviously the time to train you and mentor you throughout the whole process. And in return, like, we have to have the same goal in mind. We have to have the goal that we're here to grow together as a team, and my job is to help you get there, help you achieve your goal. And everybody has different goals, right? Like, and we try to meet everybody where they're at. Some people are okay with only closing 5 to 10 deals a year, but some people have much higher goals where they want to do 30 plus deals a year. And that's totally fine. I'm not going to tell you you have to close 30 deals a year. It's at the end of the day, we're going to meet you where you're at, but at the same time, we don't want to see you wasting opportunities or hoarding opportunities that other people could have handled because you just didn't follow up. You didn't have the time to follow up, right?
Yeah, that's why the accountability portion is very important. Someone that's actually watching you and actually telling you when things are wrong or things are right, and trying to keep you on track with what your goals are. I think that's a very important feature. And then also the mentorship, Peter. I mean, that's huge. Statistically, you learn at a much quicker pace when you're growing with a group of people and are on a team learning quicker. So it all depends on, what your goals are. I mean, do you want to learn quicker? Do you want, the easy flow of leads or understand how to actually generate leads yourself? It's much easier when you have someone guiding you through the process. So that's why joining a team, just making sure that you have that mentorship and you have that accountability is definitely important. Things you definitely want to look into when investigating what is a good fit for you.
I agree. I agree. And it's not always to like the biggest team is the team that you should be looking at to join, or the number one team in the nation is the team that you think would be the best fit. A lot of times, bigger is not always better. Sometimes when it does get too big, you end up getting less of the one-on-one interaction with the leader, the team leader, or the coach. And at the end of the day, you got to again see where you want to be and what kind of culture you're looking for. You're looking for somebody that will give you more one-on-one time, or one-on-one mentorship, or one-on-one coaching, versus you being one out of 100 or 200 people that you might not even know everybody on the team on a personal level, right? So, yeah, and that goes a long way because you're going to have times where you're not available. Let's say you're on vacation and you need somebody to cover you on a showing. What are you going to do at that point? You're going to reach out to 200 people to see if they're going to help you out. And if you have no personal relationship with them or the team leader themselves, like, I know if you tell me all the time, Sharif, and I do it too, like if somebody's not around, they're on vacation, they can't cover an appointment, you go ahead and do it for them, right?
Definitely, and all their calls get forwarded to our admin staff. We're still covering them, and that's what you need to figure out yourself. What are you looking for, right? Someone who's just starting real estate may need more of the mentorship, might need more of the lead flow, the system, and things of that nature. But someone's trying to elevate their career might need more support systems, the admin support, things of that nature to help them take them to where they want to be. But it's really important to, talk to the team leader, talk to the teammates, talk to the admin staff, also talk to agents in the actual community that have interacted with that team to make sure they're a good fit. Because what you're touching on, Peter, is actually the culture of the team. You got to make sure that that's the culture that you want. Some teams are like party animals, and maybe that's not the right culture for you, or you're looking for more of a family oriented team, right? You really want to investigate it. Take a look at their social media. Every team out there should have some decent marketing and give you a glimpse of what they do and who they are, right? Social media is huge when you're trying to figure out if they're the right fit for you. So definitely know where you're at in your career, what you're looking for, and what they can provide to you to actually elevate. Just remember to talk to everybody and investigate before joining. I just most recently interviewed someone that, was stuck on a team for about 4 months and she did not like it at all. She didn't like the culture. She didn't feel like there was enough mentorship. And that's something that you could easily avoid if you just do a little bit more investigation of.
All right, 100%. And there's the word culture that gets thrown around a lot. Just wanted to kind of touch base on culture and what is the definition of culture. I guess, in your opinion, Sharif, what is the definition of culture?
It's the camaraderie between the agents, right? Taking it from a business level to more of a friendship and family orientation. Just being able to collaborate with others and to rely on others when you need help. And just to have fun together. I mean, I love it when I hear about teammates that get together on the weekends or ended up going to the other teammates party that they were throwing. It's great for me. I mean, just yesterday at our team meeting, we have one of our teammates, she's actually getting her master's, she's finishing up, and the other people on the team pulled together to get her a gift. Right. So it's awesome. It's like, we're building that whole family persona within our team where we kind of, we're friends with each other, right? We take care of each other almost like we're family.
100%. I couldn't agree more. I mean, we have a very similar culture here. Like multiple times, people are celebrating birthdays. They bring cake. When we see somebody that's in need, like we had that happen too, where they got a house recently. We're trying to pull together like a housewarming gift. It does mean a lot. And again, like you said, it does really feel nice to see people like that get around and they like each other, right? They want to be around each other. And that's the thing. Like we spend a lot of time, more time together than our own families, right? Like we see each other a lot more. And a lot of us on the team will call each other family. And this feels like a family to them, right? And they can talk to us about anything, not just on a business level, on a personal level too. And that's exactly how I see culture too. Something that I've always told people, it's like it's rules that govern certain behaviors too, right? So when somebody's out of culture, it means that typically their behavior don't no longer align with what the expectations are of our team's behavior. Right? So like it could be something where not just on a professional level, but on a personal level, like they do things that we don't like like you said maybe earlier, like they could be like party animals, or they could be, I don't know, doing something that do not align with what we think is best for the team and the team's image, and just to the point where the dress, how they dress, right? Like this is not something that we want them to go out and do. Or like, I mean, obviously everybody's free to do whatever they want, but they just got to understand that they're carrying the team's image everywhere they go with how they act out in public if they're not with a professional, like on a professional level, and what else they do, like on what they post on social media as well, because overall people will see that person as the team, and this is what the team looks like, and it's just going to affect the whole team as a whole.
Definitely. I mean, you're working together now, right? The real estate's a very lonely world, and it's so much easier when you have your tribe. And you just have people to rely on, people to pick you up when you're down, and to keep the motivation going. I mean, that's a good culture to be in. Just people that are basically have your back and want you to succeed. So just finding a group of people, and doesn't have to necessarily be like a formal team. It could be just other agents you're aligned with to build that culture, right? That could be something simple as that. Like, don't overthink it. What you're looking for is just a good situation that you can grow in. But just make sure you investigate it, to the max, so that you make sure that it is the type of situation you want to be in. And that's really the key, because I see so many people choose the wrong, group of people to work with, the wrong team to be a part of, because it doesn't align with your goals and what you're looking for personally. So make sure that you do find that, make sure that their core values align with what yours are, right? You just should be asking these type of questions when you're interviewing, and try to do some type of, introductory meeting, or something that you're shadowing a team member, just so you can start to understand prior to making that decision what it's really like to be on that team.
100%. And then the next part to that is the standards and accountability, which I think they're pretty much, they go hand in hand. So I know you're very big on that too, Sharif, and want to touch a little bit on that, because people, in a lot of times they shy away from accountability or having high standards. And I want to know, like, what have you done in the past, or if people shy away from accountability on your team, and how has that helped your team overall to be better?
Yeah, I mean, winners want to be around winners, right? I mean, that's just really what it is. No one wants to win and be around someone who's dragging them down. So that's what we try to, project onto everyone and keep them accountable. We do that by, basically keeping the lists clean. Every agent has their smart list that they need to call. If they don't call those people, then we sweep those leads from them and give those opportunities to someone else. I mean, that's just like a portion of accountability. We do have call minimums on a daily basis that the agents need to reach. Just to be on a team, it's 25 calls. But if you want leads, you got to make a minimum of 75 dials a day. And these are things that I'm telling the recruits as they walk in the door because I want to set the right expectations. We're not going to be the team that's going to let you sit around and do that occasional deal once in a while. That's not what we're shooting for. At that point, you might as well join another team or join the brokerage directly. We're looking for motivated individuals that are actually making their calls, volunteering for open houses, joining our call nights, joining our weekly meetings. These are all requirements, not only to get leads, but actually to stay on the team itself. And sometimes we have those hard conversations with people to let them know that they're not doing the requirements. And if they don't, then this team is not the place for them. And it's unfortunate sometimes because there's really good people out there that just have bad work ethic, right? And we're just looking for good work ethic and people to pull together and to keep each other accountable to make sure that we all are going towards that common goal.
Yeah, 100% agree. I was talking to a couple of my team members on Friday, actually, and I walked in and they were like, "Oh, we were just talking about you." And I'm like, "Oh, really? What were you guys talking about?" And they both were on previous teams and they were telling me, like, they just love how the standards are a lot higher here on the team and they see that it made a big difference in their career, right? Like you said, there were on other teams that they didn't have those right standards. They just let them do whatever they want. They didn't hold them accountable. They weren't reviewing what they have in place with them, what kind of leads they have, what they're working on, what struggles they have, all these things. And they say, like, when we started, on this team and we see the standards and you're always after us, like, why don't you call these leads? What you need to be doing on a regular basis? And, had multiple, like you said, tough conversations one on one with those agents where it was like almost if you're not going to be doing this in the next week or so, I'm sorry, like, we're not the best team for you. And all of a sudden, like, their whole business changes, right? Because they saw that they could lose the opportunity to be on the team. And I tell them, I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm doing this for you. It's not for me. Like, I don't want you to feel like I'm micromanaging you or I'm just being a tough boss or whatever. I really care. And if I didn't care, I wouldn't have this conversation with you. And accountability is one of the highest forms that you can show a human being that you love them and you care about them. Because otherwise, you can just let them do whatever the heck they want. And just be like, if you do a deal, great. If not, then let me know if you need help, and you just never hear from them. So you want to be on a team that is holding you accountable, have high standards, because it shows that they care. Otherwise, they're just not really invested in you, right?
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, you definitely want to find, just a group of individuals that will keep you accountable. Accountability is huge in growth. If you want to grow your career, you got to find someone that's going to keep you accountable to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing day in, day out, and just making sure that you're keeping in that positive direction going forward. I mean, a lot of it's human nature. I mean, you give up, you get beat down, and not to have some type of motivational factor or someone checking on you makes it even more difficult to keep pushing forward. So it's really, key if you want to be successful is just to have someone who's keeping you accountable. And there's various ways to do that. I mean, from time management to, speaking the right way to people when you're talking to leads on the phone, just different things that someone can even just, nurture you on and actually help you through to make sure that your growth is always there.
Yeah, and not just in business. A lot of times, and I was saying this on the other podcast too, is like, even just during the huddle, other family members would be listening in, and it does help them on a personal level, right? Because a lot of the stuff that we talk about in real estate, just you can apply in any aspect of your life. So a lot of it is personal development. A lot of it is how to be more disciplined. A lot of it how to be more accountable, how to do the boring stuff day in and day out. If you just take this stuff and apply it to any area of your life that you want to grow in, it will work exactly the same. There's so many benefits of that. I know I've seen so many people on the team that end up growing on a personal level too, not just on a business level, just because again, like, and we didn't learn all this stuff on our own, right, Sharif? Like, we invested so much money and time into coaching that helped us get there. And I'm sure, like, we weren't that knowledgeable in all these aspects of it when we first started,
Mhm.
but it's an investment that we decided to do to be able to help us grow. And then in return, we're taking this investment and we're pretty much applying it or providing it to other people that are on our team. So the fact that, a lot of times when we talk to team members, they're trying to join the team, they're just so concerned about splits, but they don't realize how much investments that, or how much we invested between money and time to get us where we are today, that we're just going to be providing all this stuff for them before we even see a deal come from them. And then all they care is about the split, right? How do you have those conversations about splits, Sharif?
I mean, the splits are the splits, really. It's what it comes down to is exactly what you said, Peter. I mean, it takes a lot of money to actually make this machine work, right? And the fact of the matter is, we're looking for team players and those that are so more concerned about what they're taking away from the end of the day and not too concerned about what the team is doing is not really a good fit for us. That's not what we're looking for, and it's fine. Sometimes you grow out of a team, and that's perfectly fine, but that's not what we're looking for. And really, what it comes down to, it the splits are the splits, and there's a reason for them. If the team doesn't make money, then it won't survive, and you won't have that accountability or the systems or the support. Like the team's got to make money in order for the agents to benefit from it, and that ultimately comes from the actual split setup.
And it's not even like they don't realize the team member is not, obviously it's not really profitable to the team unless they stay for like 2 3 years, right? Because the first couple of years, especially if they're new, it takes them so long to even to learn, to start learning about everything that we offer, how to convert the lead, how, all that stuff. And what they forget is like how much it cost us from lost opportunities that they didn't know how to convert on a high level because they're new, and we tell them it's okay, you will get the next one. But that actually, because their lack of experience cost us that lead, or didn't work out well, or because they didn't follow up enough, those are all lost opportunities that they don't even think about. So it's not just like the money invested and time invested in each team member, it's also the lost opportunities that we're giving you and then we're okay with, because we know this is, you got, in order for you to learn, you got to fail a few times. The cost of failure is also something that we carry on a regular basis, and they don't realize any of that, right?
Totally. I mean, another thing to look into as well is, I get a lot of pushback from people who are just deciding if they want to even join a team or not because they feel like they're going to lose their identity. In reality, it's the total opposite. The team is here to build up your brand. It's here to build your identity. It's just we have a group identity as well that we're pushing. But everyone on the team still has their personal identity. So I can tell you, most teams out there don't function that way. And that's something that you want to definitely look into prior to joining one.
No, 100%. And it's not that they're going to lose their identity, it's that they're going to gain a market share of a group of people that have done really good things. And for you, Sharif, like, you've worked so hard on your SEO. It took years to be where you're at today. And the reviews, the collective reviews that you have on all the websites, right? And then all of a sudden they plug into your team and they're part of 300 or 500 plus 5-star reviews, and your brand that's already been around for so long that people recognize, right? And how many times, like, have your team members been on appointments where, like, oh, you're part of Sharif's team, and like they say great things, or even agents on the other side, right? Where like they've worked with you in the past and they were like, oh yeah, you're part of Sharif's team, this is going to be a smooth transaction, right? So using that leverage of you being on a team, knowing Sharif knows so many people, or the team knows so many people, that will help you get deals faster, help you get clients quicker because of that brand awareness. It's just like working at, Apple or Microsoft, right? Like, everybody knows about that, about them. So it's so much easier to end up getting what you want because of that brand name that have worked around or been around for so long.
Hmm. And it translates into, the actual commission splits. That's one of the team benefits as well. And you got to realize that, it's really important for you to be part of that team ultimately and fully. It's not just a careless act. And then, if you're part of a team that's not really providing all the tools that you need, you should take a different look and look around and see what else that is provided around you that you can actually capitalize on. I have multiple agents that come to the team, and right off the bat, they're able to have some type of history, right? They can say, hey, our team has closed this many deals, instead of them saying, no, I haven't done anything before. So it gives you that extra, push, that extra clout when you're speaking, and that confidence that's needed in real estate that's not always there when you're first starting out. It's not always there when you're actually successful. So it helps you with that confidence factor, which I think is one of the most essential parts of real estate.
No, 100%. And I would say it's even better than hiring a coach a lot of time, because even when you hire a coach, it's going to take you, again, number one, an investment that's ahead of time that you have to invest in. And then number two is that they're not there on the field with you, right? A lot of time these coaches are going to be in another state or further out from you, and they're not going to be there they don't know your local market that well. They're not going to go with you on appointments. They don't have the administrative support. They don't give you leads. So in the beginning, the only way to learn is by doing, right? By being there and taking action, and doing stuff on the field, and closing deals. And I tell everybody that, like, look, a lot of people talk about, oh, I've been in the business for 20 plus years, right? And I obviously hate it so much because, you look at their track record and they closed like 5 deals in the last year. And that doesn't help, right? Like, you learn, and your experience is by how many transactions you're involved in on consistent basis, right? And this is how you gain experience. If you want to grow really quickly, you have to get involved in as many transactions as possible, because that's how you learn. This is how you build your resume. Is like, I've closed X amount of transactions on a team. You should easily do 5 to 10x more than if you were to do anything on your own, because of the amount of volume and amount of flow that you're going to be getting from leads and activity and everything else. So a lot of times I tell the team members, like, if you close, the average agent that's a solo agent in today's market closes 4 deals a year, right? And we have agents that are closing 20 plus closings a year. We have an agent that had 8 deals under contract in 1 month, right? And that's like 5 years of experience in 1 year. Like, it would have taken you 5 years to just get involved into that many transactions. And that's something that a lot of agents take for granted.
Definitely. And just being around those transactions gives you experience. It's not like you don't have to necessarily do them yourself, because, we're always talking about them on huddle or a team meeting, and you're always taking away something from someone else's transactions. So it's like the global amount of transactions that everyone's doing, because technically everyone has a part in it, right? It's either you're learning or doing it yourself. So that's the other benefit of it, is the fact that you're around these people that are also doing it. So if you're not doing it yourself, maybe you're learning from them as well. And just having those opportunities to shadow others that are doing more than you is, value in itself. Me personally, myself, I list a good amount of homes a year, and with our teammates, I give them the opportunity when they get to a certain level to shadow me on the listing appointments, shadow me in doing certain listing activities, so that they can gain the experience as well without having to do it on their own listings as well.
Love it. Awesome. Any last comments, Sharif, before we end today?
No, just definitely figure out what you want. That's really one of the core factors, and investigate that fully, like it's your job, right? Before you join any type of brokerage or team, just make sure it's the right place for you.
Love it. Well, guys, if you like this podcast, feel free to share it, comment. Would like to know if you like this kind of content, so we can do more like it. And feel free to visit our Facebook group. We'll put the link in description. And yeah, we look forward to the next podcast, Sharif.
Awesome. Thanks, Peter. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.